So along with the camera bag and the charger and all that stuff that I also have a camera on a tripod, and that is my Canon T7i that I've got set up over here as I get ready to go to work. And this is a DSLR camera. Don't ask me what the initials mean. I have no idea. But it's a great camera. The pictures I've taken with it have been phenomenal. This is the one I use for all my time-lapse photography and all of my distance stuff. One of the things I've noticed in the past is that when I do the distance photos of me working, say, out in this area here, I haven't had the camera where it needs to be, because in the last video that I released on Monday, it showed, so today's what, 28th? So that would be the 27th. It showed a section over here where I was trimming up some trees back in the woods. The problem is, all you could see once I walked around the edge over here was the bore of the chainsaw until I came back out and drug the trees back out and moved the camera around. So I'm really going to focus on getting that much better. So what I've got here, let me show you. We'll turn it on and you can see the view screen through it, is a view of the area I'm going to be working in. And I'm going to have to make sure that I stay. Should be easier because I actually have that all marked out in green. But I'm going to go ahead and clean up that whole area in the center right there. And then I'm going to drop down a couple of trees on the other side over here. There's a big dead one over there. I pointed that out before. I'll get rid of the dead one right there. We're just going to do some cleanup here today. Okay, if I'm going to bring a bulldozer in, then why did I just spend all that time pulling everything out of the inside? And there's still just a little bit left in there. I did it for two reasons. One, so that I can have a better visualization of the footprint. Right? And two, because I'm going to cut some trees down over here. I want some room to work. When they come down, I'm going to need to limb them up, buck them up, and throw them over on the pile. So that took me all about, I want to say, probably about 20 minutes just to get that kind of cleaned up. It's pretty awesome, though. Just the visualization you get from it. So it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon now, and I mentioned in previous, I think it was the short video on Friday, that at 2 o'clock I had shadows. 3 o'clock the shadows are stretching even more. But the sun is actually right behind a cloud right now. Right there. Oh, it's coming out. Sorry if I blinded you. Lots of little breaks to keep hydrated, keep drinking water. I want to get this done today or tomorrow, and then cut out the section I pointed to over here, widen this out for the fifth wheel trailer, and get that done, and then I'll finish off the last of the stuff over here, and we'll be good to go. So we're getting close. Why don't I cut when it rains? Let me flip back over here. So why don't I bring the chainsaw out and cut stuff down when it rains? I can cut when it rains. I can fire up the chainsaw and run it. But as uneven as this ground is, if I have to jump or move in any direction and I slip because it's wet and nasty, I can end up getting hurt out here. And I'm not about getting hurt out here. I'm here by myself, although people know I'm out here and working, and my truck is parked on the road, so everybody knows I'm back here. But it's not worth it. To come out here and buck up brush and clean stuff up like that, that'd be fine. But I won't fall trees when it's raining out here right now. It's about 70 degrees out, and I bet you the humidity is probably around 60 or 70%. Oh well. So yeah, that's why I don't fall trees when it rains. But I will show you here, all this crap right here is all the stuff that I just pulled out of the center of this. It's kind of nice, huh? Kind of pretty. Let me show you something else I saw that was pretty neat. As I was moving all the brush, get you right down there. See those berries? Those are lingonberries, or low bush cranberry. And they're just delicious. They grow wild all over the place up here. I see some fireweed off in the distance there. Saw some fireweed right in the middle of the property over there. I didn't see that last year. So as I'm opening things up and the sun's getting in here, I'm getting more and more. There's some fireweed right there in the middle. Just hasn't really bloomed yet. Beautiful flower. All right, I think that's about enough of a break. We're going to cut down a couple of trees. I reposition the camera so that you guys can get a view of what I'm doing over here now. And if you're noticing too, I'll point this to the camera. So if you're noticing too that as the video's going, and especially when I'm doing the speeded up versions of it, that it gets light and dark and light and dark and light and dark, that's the clouds in the sky. And it's also when the trees are falling. So if you notice when a tree falls, look at how much more light there is in the area after that tree is gone. You won't notice it as much, I don't think, over here, because the sun is actually coming from over there. But when I drop one of these trees, you notice a great deal of sunlight exploding out, because they're right in the path of the sun. That is south, due south, which is kind of crazy even to think about south in Alaska. And that is due north. And this, oh, I went too fast with the camera again, didn't I? This is by no means laid out in a perfect rectangle yet. This is just a bird's eye view to get an idea of where it's going to be and what needed to go. In order to do that, we'll use the old Pythagorean theorem, you know, more algebra that I thought I would never use in my lifetime, which would be a squared plus b squared will equal c squared. And c squared will be that corner all the way across to that corner. So I can, when I set this corner, right, I can measure out a straight line that way and put a stake in the ground there. And at that point, I have nothing to worry about, because this line will be true no matter what I do. From point A to point B will be true. When I do the next one, I will have to move it around a bit. It won't be a permanent corner over there. But I can still do the 20-foot squared plus 24-foot squared equals the square root of that, c squared. And it'll give you an exact measurement so that I can make that cross in that corner there. So that will give me corner 1, corner 2, and corner 3. And then I do the same thing and measure it from here straight back to the other corner. And then I'll cross it. I'll have the 24 feet here. I'll have the 20 feet there. And where that line crosses at exactly, you know, the 20 feet and the 24 feet in that corner over there will be the final corner. It's actually pretty easy to do. It was one of the things I was concerned about when I was first laying this out. It's going to be a post and pier construction, so there'll be sonotubes in here. So once it's all leveled out, and then I'll take it down another 4 to 5 feet, probably 5 feet, 60 inches for the sonotubes. And they'll be, I guess, 9 foot tall, because I'll probably go 4 feet off the ground, 3 or 4 feet off the ground before I put the floor beams in. And then once I pour the concrete, it's all go from that point forward. I'll rent a concrete mixer. I'll be able to get a delivery of concrete out here, or I'll just pick it up in my truck and bring it out. I'll calculate all the stuff for the bags, or how many bags I need per sonotube, and I'll be good to go. Once I get those poured, that's when I can start actually doing physical construction. I mean, that is construction, but that's when I can start pounding nails. I'm still playing around with what I'm going to do as far as the beams that are running across the sonotubes. I'm probably just going to double them up, and I'll do 3 rows. It's a little wide of an expanse, but it's not, I mean, a little wide. Normally they want them anywhere from 5 to 6 feet apart, which means I should have 4 rows in here. But if I go, you know, 1, 2, 3 on that corner, and then I go, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, I've got 12 holes I'll have to dig, and that'll be pretty solid. I'm not really worried about as far as structural integrity goes, especially up here in Alaska with earthquakes. I want to make sure that I've got quite a bit of ground. We do have earthquakes up here, and for those of you that noticed it and commented on it, we had that big 7.8 a couple of days ago. Maybe it was last week now, and then today they had an aftershock that was 7.4. When the ground moves up here, it rocks and or rolls. All right, I'm going to get back to work and cut some trees down. I'll film that. You can watch a little bit of that. But I'll probably put most of what I'm doing this week into a Monday video. And this section here where I've been walking you with the cell phone will be a Friday video. I'll get that edited up later on. I just love it. It's going to be big. It's going to be a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I like it. All right, let me get back to work.